Hey guys, it's Marissa, kitchentablestamper.com. We're getting live. Say hey when you get in here. All right, so I see that you guys are getting in here. This is the inspiration for our project today. We'll talk about this more in just a second. It features the Tags bundle from the holiday catalog. Tags bundle is Tags 3-piece photopolymer stamp set. It's a really cool stamp set. And the trio of tags dies. So that's what we're featuring here today. Here's our little inspiration for my day after Halloween shopping. Before we start the project, I want to show you just really quick and do some housekeeping. Registration is open for the Perfectly Plaid class. We're going to do this fun little Ghirardelli treat holder, this fun nail file, sleeve, 3 awesome cards. Registration is open through November 15th. The pine tree punch did go on back order though. So you're looking at getting your pine tree punch mid-December. So keep that in mind if you want to register for the class. It's $47. It includes the bundle. The punch will get here when the punch gets here. And its ETA is November 25th, which is the same date as the class. So I assume that we're only have about a week delay. So we're looking at the first week of December. $47 with the bundle and the 5 project kits. And just email Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com if you want to go ahead and register for the Perfectly Plaid class. All right, so that's going on right now. Information is on kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom. There's a form there you can fill out too if you want to get a link for that class. November 18th, it's a Monday at 6:30 p.m. is paper and ink cards. We're doing paper and ink Christmas cards this month. So 4 cards, $15, or free with a qualified Stampin' Up order. Seats are already starting to fill, so email Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com to RSVP. That's here in my Rolling Meadows home studio, and all local adult crafters are welcome. So that's what's going on. What else? Let me see here. I got to dig into my after Halloween stash and get some candy for our treat bag. Let's see what I got here. All right, so this is a little clue. Got an online classroom coming up. That's going to be one of the treats. This is what I'm looking for. This is what we need today. Have you guys seen these? These are the most delicious thing ever. I thought about opening a bag and eating them for breakfast. We're going to use those in our project here today. Got to put something in this cute box, right? All right, so I think we can get started. We're going to make this awesome box. This one features the Tags bundle and the Night Before Christmas designer series paper. Really cute, fast Halloween project. So if you're considering this bundle, that's something that you can do with it. Really fun bundle. Halloween, Valentine's, this is going to come in very handy soon. And then winter, Christmas. Let's see here. I've also got, you guys are going to love this, Memento Tuxedo Black as our ink for this project, Real Red combo Stampin' Blends, and Shaded Spruce combo Stampin' Blends. I've got some Real Red cardstock. I've got some Let It Snow designer series paper. And I've got Whisper White cardstock. This is my scrap bin. You guys are learning a lot as I wing the project. My embellishments for this project, I've pre-selected the metallic edge ribbon. This is the Whisper White with the silver edge. And I've got some Jewels basic rhinestones. Let's see what we can make, shall we? All right, cheer me on here. So I'm going to start by grabbing my brand new Stampin' Up trimmer. I love it. I'm using it and I'm really enjoying it. There's only a couple of things that I'm not excited about, but yeah, though really there's only one. Let me show you. So I've got my cardstock. I'm going to cut it down to 5.5. So I'm going right across the top there. Now the light one scores and the dark one cuts. So I'm going to park my scoring blade. And a couple of things like the light one, light pressure, light cut, light damage. Those are how I remember that. That's my scoring blade. Dark one's the cutting blade, and it has a little blade shape right on the top there. So as I'm getting used to it, as you're getting used to your new trimmer, those are some things that you can use to remember. I have had a few times when I cut instead of scored or vice versa, but look for the little triangle, like a little blade on your dark one, darker, heavier pressure, heavier damage. That's the one that's going to cut. Does that help anybody else remember cutting versus scoring? All right, so real red cardstock, 5.5 inches. We're gonna cut that one off. And I'm gonna park my cutting blade down at the bottom now, because next we're gonna score. We're gonna score this while we've got our paper in on the portrait way. We're gonna score at 2 inches. Okay, simple little box here. We're gonna score 90 degrees, turn it around. Now we're on the landscape side. We're going to score at 2, at 4, at 6. Now here's something that I want to show you, that this is exactly 6 inches. I think that's pretty cool. So if you need a 6-inch score, when you end at the little arm, fold it up, it's 6 inches. So it's a nice simple 6-inch. When you open up the arm on your Stampin' trimmer, I found that if you just lift the tiniest bit with your finger while you pull out, it comes out a little bit easier, and then just slide it in. When you're done, it does kind of lock, so it can kind of catch on you. Open it up, nice and smooth. It goes out to 17 inches now, which is crazy. That's really, you got a lot of room to measure there. All right, so we're at 6. We're going to slide down to 8. And this is the base of our little package. Okay, so then the only thing that I'm finding that I don't like about the trimmer, and it's just going to be a matter of getting used to, when I make a cut, generally, I'll make a cut and then I slide the paper off the end here and then bring in the next one from this side to make another cut. So that like whole slide is interrupted because of this stop right here that is 6 inches. So just something that needs getting used to. It has its upside because it's exactly 6 inches. So if you're cutting your designer series paper 12 by 12 in half, you've got exactly 6 inches. Just put it until it stops. It's fast. But also if you're cutting smaller pieces and you slide it off the side like I do, that's not sliding off the side. So that's the new trimmer. I'm very happy with it, and it'll be available to customers today, so check that out if you're considering it. I'm very pleased with it. It's light as a feather. It's got the little hook for hanging, and the price point is awesome. All right, so we're going to work the scores here on our package, and got a nice crisp score. I like the way that it scores. There's our little box. Now let's liberate our tabs. We need a pair of paper snips, and we're going to cut a little angle right at the 1/2 inch into the corner there. And then we're gonna cut this score line off entirely right up until the corner. Then I like to, at the top of this 1/2 inch, I like to just bevel the edge a little bit. Then we're going to liberate the tabs here. So you'll cut up to the 2-inch score, and I do a very small little dart and just take the tiniest little bit out. It makes the bottom less bulky, but it doesn't make your tabs all trapezoid. It's just a little piece that you're taking out, the actual score line. Oh, that's a little ragged. Let me fix that. We're making a cute little box here today, and I'm just liberating the tabs for the bottom of the box. I'm doing it a little choppy. Not as neat as my usual self. All right, let me clear all this away. Here's our box. That's what we're making. And I'm going to take some tear and tape adhesive. Now, this right here is the back of our box. Do you see that? And it's the back of our box because it has the seam. So let's go ahead and put some tear and tape on our glue tab here, this little 1/2 inch tab. And I need my take your pick tool. You see, so we're folding in at 1, 2, second score line, and then on the first score line, bring it together. Now that's the back of our box, so that makes this tab right here the front of our box. So we're gonna go ahead and add some adhesive right there on the bottom of the front tab. All right, now in go the sides, back to the front, and then front to the back. Method for that madness is that we are going to have all of our seams then at the back of the box. Here's our vertical seam, here's our horizontal seam, and they all face the back of the box. Now you're just going to, at this point, pinch a little gusset. And look at that, there's our little box. Sandy loves to make boxes, me too. All right, now, let's get to decorating this thing, but first, I got my little peppermint cups. I love these. I look for these every year. They're Palmer, they're dark chocolate with peppermint bark cream filling. Love them. I'm gonna drop a couple of those in the box. 3 fit really nicely. And we're gonna just set aside for a second. Now we gotta pick a designer series paper. I'm thinking we want some contrast. All right, so let me slide this designer series paper over. I think that one's a good one. That's the one we're gonna go with. You guys like that? I love this Let It Snow designer series paper. I need my paper trimmer again. My brand new trimmer. I really love it. All right, so 1 3/4. All right, so you see, here's another thing that I've found is awesome about this trimmer. I've got it at 1 3/4. Do you see what we're cutting off? Like it's a hair. So I'm gonna park my scoring blade up at the top. And then make my cut. Do you see that? Perfectly straight. Look at that scrap. So good cuts with this. And then we'll go, let's go 3 1/4. See how that looks. Pretty good. Awesome. All right, now I need a dovetail. I don't think I have my tailored tag punch here. Can you guys believe it? I'm about to do one of those little dovetails without the tailored tag punch. I don't know if I can do it anymore. Do you guys use your scissors? Or do you use the banner triple for this? Or do you use the tailored tag punch? How do you do it? Seriously, I don't know how I'm gonna line this up. Good thing there we go. That's not bad. It's a little lopsided. All right, so there's our little tag of designer series paper. It turns out much neater with the tailored tag punch. Get the tailored tag punch. Don't be like Marissa. Get the tailored tag punch. Now we're going to put a little snail across the top, maybe 1/2 inch, and then tape it to the front of the box. My cups are trying to get away. All right, got my 1/8 inch hole punch here. You can use whatever handheld punch you got. And you're gonna punch about 1/4 inch in and center as you can through the whole box. Simple. Here's my beautiful metallic edge Whisper White ribbon. I'm gonna thread that through the back and then through the front. Let's close this guy up. Once I close it up in pretty paper, I'm less likely to eat all the peppermint bark cups. And just tie a pretty bow. Isn't that gorgeous already? Woo! All right, let's do some stamping, should we? Slide to the side. I've got my, oh, I already did it. Look at that. I'm more prepared than I thought. Got the Winter Christmas tags, tags, tags stamp. Notice how all 3 tags are on 1 stamp, 1 block, and all 3 tags cut out in 1 pass with the die. Now, I am going to grab some Memento Tuxedo Black. Now, I love that you have the option of making 3 tags in one stamp and one pass through the die machine. But I also love that you do have the flexibility to just cut what you need, just stamp what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to ink up the Express Your Elf in Memento Tuxedo Black. I love this little tag. We might have to retie our bag depending on if I decide to tie it on or just stick it on, but we'll see. And now we need some Whisper White cardstock. Let's see if I have any scraps that are big enough for this. Looks like, and we need a Stampin' Up here snap. Oh, there goes my ruler. Now, because I got such a little piece of cardstock here, I'm going to protect my Stampin' Pierce mat so I don't get ink all over everything. Put some scratch paper down. And Express Your Elf. Give that ink a second to transfer. I want a nice dark line. Let's see what we got here. Not bad. And then I'm going to grab my Big Shot. And the die is best lined up, I find, if you watch all 3 tag edges. So I like that I've got a little bit of the others to use for placement. We're going to line up so that the edge of the die touches the stamped line. So you see here that this kind of curly label, the little curly edge is touching the edge of the die. You can't really see the edge of Express Your Elf, but you can see the edge of this little birch trees here, and that is touching the edge of the die. So when you've checked a couple of points, and like your placement, I always keep some washi tape stuck to my machine. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of washi tape so it stays in place. And give it a quick run. See how neatly it cuts out each one. We've got a pretty even border. We've got a pretty even border, and we've got a pretty even border. Do you see that? So you would get 3 tags in one pass. They have awesome little details, like the little hole is cut out. See the stitching? The die cuts this cute little lattice or eyelet pattern. Eyelet, that's what it is. Eyelet pattern out of this tag. This tag die just on Whisper White or vanilla cardstock is going to give you great tags to use with other stamp sets. You don't have to just use this with the tags. You don't have to buy it with the tags. It stands alone very well. You do save 10% when you buy tags with the trio of tags die set. And then the other things that come in this are little accent pieces. I love these teeny little jack-o'-lanterns, teeny little snowflakes, and the teeny little hearts. All right, let me clear this away and let's finish this project. All right, so this is our inspired little box. This is where we're at on the one we're making today. We slide this to the side and we're gonna do just a little bit of coloring. I'm gonna do my elf shoes with shaded spruce. Ooh, such a little space, and I'm standing far over. I'm gonna try to stay in the lines here. We'll see about that. This girl does not see as well as she used to, but don't tell anybody that, okay? Like, that's just between us. And then I'm gonna do a little shadow. It's a small space, so we're not gonna go too crazy, but I'm gonna go across the bottom of the little elf shoes and then up the heel side. And then we're going to just blend it lightly. Ooh, they're so cute. I can't even get over it. I have a pair just like these. Mine have jingle bells on the tips though, so I can only take it for so long. I tend to wear them to the kitchen table stamp or Christmas party. But it's not too long before we can't stand myself anymore. All right, now I've got some real red. Here I'm gonna do the light real red. Thinking you could probably just do the dark in this really small space. Go in and do the dark from the back side of the legs. I just went out of the lines. That's insane. All right, so there's our cute little tag, Express Your Elf. Now, do we tie it or just tag it? I think I have to tie it. I'm kind of rigid. It's a tag. I think it's got to be tied on. You guys know what I mean? Anybody feeling me? I can't just put it on with a dimensional. I'll probably put a dimensional anyway, so it's exactly where I want it. But I think I got to thread it. So I just threaded it on one of the tails, and then I'll go over the top and put the bow. Now let's make sure I don't completely cover my sentiment. No, I think that's pretty cute. That's how I got to do it. If you want to just tack it on with a glue dot or a dimensional, you can do that too. Oh, so cute, so quick. You can make a bunch of these so fast. This is the perfect one to bring everybody at the office. It's a half a sheet of paper. And let me show you another trick too after we're done here. First, a quick little embellishment, and then I'm going to show you a trick. So I've got my basic rhinestones here, and I'm going to, I have a lot of this ones with the line left. It's kind of that middle size. So I just snipped it away. And I'm going to put this right at the toe. See, now there's a jingle bell on that one too. I need one more. All right, so there is our cutie little box. So you get 2 of them out of a sheet of paper. You get lots of little tags out of your designer series paper. It colors super quick. This is one you can make a bunch of. And then let me show you something else really quick. If you take your real red cardstock, and instead of scoring every box individually, a little craft fair tip, a little mass production for the holidays tip, you can take this sheet of cardstock. So this is your base. In this case, it's basic black or real red, whichever you like. Let me open that up all the way. And we're gonna score a full sheet. Sorry, you guys, a full sheet's bigger than a half a sheet. I need to clear some space here. So we got our full sheet of cardstock. If you score at 2, and then 4, 6, and then 8. And then you cut it in half. Then you have scored, for the most part, 2 boxes at one time. So then slide this one down to 2. I keep cutting with my scoring blade. I'm rushing to show you. Slow down. All right, and then score this one at 2. See how fast? Now you've got 2 boxes from 1 sheet of cardstock, and you only scored the 2, 4, 6, 8 once for every 2. Make sense? So you can do a bunch of these for the holidays. Really easy. No. All right, time for me to go get ready. I got a shoebox event tonight and 2 craft fairs this weekend. Thanks for hanging with me, you guys. I'll get this project sheet and video on the blog as soon as possible. Reach out if you need anything. Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend.